In this lesson, we will understand what is encapsulation. With that, we will also see the three access modifiers in Python with examples. Let us start. So consider encapsulation as restricting direct access to class attributes and methods so that data security can be ensured. So we can achieve this using the public, protected and private access modifiers. Okay, so you can also consider it as bundling data and methods inside a class and controlling access to them. So you can protect sensitive data from accidental modification. For example, sensitive data can be the bank balance of a user. It also provides a control interface for interacting with objects. You can also enhance the maintainability of the code with this. So in Python, we have three access modifiers that comes under encapsulation, like public, private and protected modifiers. Using this, you can control how class members are accessed. Remember that everything is public. That means if you are not mentioning anything, it will be public. It uses naming conventions with underscores. Okay, instead of using the public, protected and private word. In Java and C++, generally we use public, private and protected. But here we represent them as like this. For public we use dot, for protected we use dot underscore, and for private we use dot underscore underscore. Public we all know, accessible everywhere, that is even inside and outside the class. Protected you can relate with the inheritance concept, that is class and subclass. We already saw that in the inheritance lesson. So it is accessible within the class and subclass. Then we have the private. Obviously it is accessible only inside the class. Okay. So let us understand them one by one. We will begin with the private access modifiers. It is strongly restricted and accessible within the class. To create this, you need to prefix with double underscores. Let us see an example. So here is our PyCharm. We already created a Python encapsulation project and added our codes. So this is our private access modifier in Python example for encapsulation. So here we have created a class, and within that we have init. Init is a constructor. It gets called when we create an object. So we created an object and passed the value Amit here. Okay, here we have set self dot underscore underscore name. That means we have set it as private is equal to name, that is equal to Amit. So if we'll try to access it outside the class, that is here, it will show an error stating that underscore underscore name is private. Self we already discussed in the previous lessons. Self is not a keyword in Python. It is just a naming convention. Okay, we can write anything instead of self, but adding self is like a standard. So you need to follow it. It is universally used for clarity. It differentiates instance variables from local variables inside methods. Self is like a reference to the current object of the class. It allows you to access attributes and methods that belong to that specific object. Okay. So we saw the private access modifier using double underscores. Now we have the protected access modifiers. It is prefixed with a single underscore. Intended for internal use within the class and its subclasses. I already told you it is related to inheritance. You can still access it from outside, but it is discouraged. Let us see two examples of protected modifier. Here it is. The first one is this, okay, in which we have followed the previous example only, and we have used init and set it as protected using dot underscore, only one underscore. We have created an object and tried calling it. It is accessible, but it is not recommended. Okay. Then we have another example, protected access modifier in Python. In this we have a parent class animal and a dog class which is inheriting from animal. So here we have the speak function, which is a generic function. We have the bark function under our subclass. Here first we are creating an object. Okay, and the following dot underscore name is our protected attribute. It is defined in the animal class, intended to be used inside animal and its subclasses. So animal and dog both can access it. Dog inherits from animal. Inside dog.bark we access self underscore name, that is from here, because a subclass can inherit the attributes of a parent class. Okay, so subclass can use protected attributes, that is the following. So here we created animal object, it calls animal.init, that is the following, with the name Bradman because we have passed Bradman here. So here we will have Bradman. Inside this, self underscore name is set to Bradman. Okay, now the object is created with name underscore Bradman. That is underscore name is equal to Bradman. After that we have the D object, that is the dog subclass object. This will call the dog init, but since dog doesn't define its own constructor, it uses animal.init. That is the following. Inside underscore underscore init we have self name. Now self name is set to Barney. Therefore object D of type dog is created with the name Barney because of this. Okay. Now the method called d.bark. Execution enters dog.bark, that is the following. Inside bark it accesses self dot underscore name from here, okay, which is Barney, and it also calls self dot speak, okay, that is the following some sound. So it will print Barney barks woof some sound. After that you can see we are printing a dot underscore name, that is the protected attribute. Okay, it will print Bradman, that is the following, but according to coding conventions or Python conventions, it is not recommended. So here we are accessing the protected attribute, okay, which is recommended but discouraged by convention. It actually breaks encapsulation, okay, because underscore name is protected. So this will print both Barney barks and then the Bradman. So in this way we can work with the protected access modifier in Python. So we saw the protected access modifier. Now let us see the last one, that is public access modifier, which is accessible from anywhere in the program. All attributes and methods are public unless otherwise specified. Let us see the example. So here we have our example. We have created a class and used an object to access. When we will create an object, it will call the constructor in it and it will assign the self.name is equal to name. That is Amit will get assigned to self.name. When we'll try to access this name, it will be accessible because we haven't added anything. Underscore and underscore underscore, we know it is for protected and private respectively. Okay, so it will just print Amit. That is s.name. So guys, we saw what is encapsulation and what are the access modifiers in Python. We saw some examples. Thank you for watching.